Hi, Ralph.
Hey, Leslie. So Ralph Havens here and Leslie Platner of Atomic Success Secrets. And we are going to talk about a simple tool to relieve anxiety. And it's something that we both use each day and actually throughout the day. It's not hard. It is simple. There's a reason most people don't do it. And we're going to just tell you about it and go from there. So Leslie, welcome. You mentioned, I'm going to go find what you were talking about before we got on screen because it was perfect. Can you talk a little bit about this, about anxiety and
Sure.
what you found?
Yeah. So I was just thinking about inner conflict, that whenever we have an experience of inner conflict, like I think I mentioned, maybe we want to make more money, but on some level, we believe that money is making people unhappy. Or maybe I want to lose weight, but there's some reason that I'm eating. Like whenever there's an inner conflict, it will create symptoms in the body. And so when you can pay attention to that, when you can feel the pain or the tension or the discomfort in your body, let me back up. Part of it is when there is an inner conflict, it stops the flow of our life force. So our life force is flowing along, and when we come to something that we don't like and we resist it really strongly with our ego, out of fear, or we start resisting life for some reason, it will create this tension in our bodies. So there's some inner conflict, and we're resisting because we don't like what's happening. So that's the inner conflict. And it can even be on a physical level, that we're eating something, but the body is having a hard time dealing with that food. So it creates an inner conflict. So we have symptoms, and the symptoms might be negative emotions, might be anxiety or some resentment or anger, but it's always pointing that there is this inner conflict happening, and we can resolve it by noticing where we feel it in the body. And, we talk about that all the time. And, the Atomic Success Secrets, we have this group that practices being present to whatever's going on in the body to help resolve the inner conflict and then be able to move forward towards dreams and goals and the life we want to live and health. So thinking about anxiety can be really a hard one to sit with. I know that from my clients, just to sit with the tension or the heart rate or the sweaty hands or the clenched stomach that we feel with anxiety, that can be challenging. But it definitely is possible to resolve the inner conflict that's creating the anxiety.
That's awesome. I wrote down what you had, how you said it before, so I'm just going to read it. And then we're going to tell you about why this is such a powerful method. Leslie's a homeopath. I'm a physical therapist, integrative manual therapist, and we help people heal from all sorts of conditions, physical conditions, and in my case, chronic physical and medical conditions. In Leslie's case, deep inner pains and the traumas of life that can show up throughout life. And we do this in person and also online in our group. There's this one process that we both use that helps with the physical stuff, helps with the past potential, what do you call it, post-traumatic stress kind of things. And it's a very simple process. So I want to talk about it and show you, let you know what Leslie said before we got on live. And here it is. And I will put it into the chat so you can see it, into the comments of the Facebook, and we'll put it everywhere we do it, YouTube and Spotify. Here it is. Whenever inner conflict about anything creates a distortion in the flow of your life force. That's what we're looking at. That when that inner conflict creates a distortion in your life force with this thing we call the peace process, the symptom is the result of this inner tension. So you've got some sort of anxiety or worry or concern or thing, and it shows up in your physical body as a pain. If you've got something going on, you usually feel it. Your chest hurts, there's tightness, your gut hurts, your neck hurts. And if we can just stop and be aware, this is Leslie's words again, why is our stress in life related to this body? It's this inner conflict. You're conflicted with something, and the life force, the actual life force that goes through every living thing, is being blocked. And so, so that's the key. There's another section that Leslie talked about that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But so this process that we use, Leslie, you use it with your one-on-one clients. I use it with my one-on-one clients, whether they're coming in for physical things or, in your case, deep past emotional traumas. We use it in our group, Atomic Success Secrets. It's a simple process. You want to talk a little bit about this thing? It's why this process, and then I want to talk about why most people won't do it, or it's hard to do even though it's so simple.
Yeah. A lot of times we really want to talk. We really want to talk about the story over and over and over and over again. And the thing is that all the talking and the talk therapy and all that, it doesn't get to that relieving the inner conflict. I mean, it might take a while, but if I sit with somebody, I can tune in and feel that inner conflict. They don't have to talk about it. And sometimes things are too stressful. It's too hard to talk about. It's too painful. And if you just go in and feel the pain without the story, if you feel where the life force is blocked, trusting it's blocked where the symptom is, where the pain is, it somehow magically, we're created that way. It's like mindfulness, bringing your awareness there allows the release of that block and the resolution of the inner conflict. And then all the symptoms can decrease. You might get an aha. Oh, I understand. I can look at it this way instead of that way. You don't have to have that inner conflict anymore. You resolve it. And as the inner conflict is resolved, then the physical symptoms go away eventually, or it could be miraculously in one session. Blood pressures come down, or people feel like they can eat certain things again. It's just pretty remarkable.
I'm going to play a little video. I think it's a 36-second video. And I used this process with somebody that was in a mastermind that I was in. And I had her test her knee pain. So a very physical condition. And she tested her knee pain by walking around. And then she did this process that Leslie just talked about, and will guide you to how to do this and how to get this, and in a bit. But I want to show you how this inner conflict affected a very physical symptom, and then it shifted. So let me share my screen, and it's a 36-second video. And I think this is it. Let's see. And that's not it. Let me go get that again. Share the screen. And here it is. Okay. And where'd it go?
There it is. I see it.
You see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go play it. Tell me if you see it play. Here goes.
So I've had some significant knee pain for the last year and a half, and I'm 6'2". And as my brother likes to describe it, going to the restroom in some restrooms is like trying to sit on a paint can. So with this significant knee pain, it's been, that's where I notice it the most. And so I just did a clearing with Ralph and did the experiment. And I would definitely say that getting up and down from that position was about 70% easier. So well done.
Okay, so and who knows what else just changed in her life. I'm actually going to show another one in a second as Leslie talks, because we've seen things change in all sorts of areas of life doing this simple thing. So Leslie, there's a reason I feel that a lot of people don't do this technique, even after they've seen it. And one reason I didn't, I kept doing it because I saw results. But even during doing it, 15 minutes every morning, part of my mind was saying, what are you doing, Ralph? You should be doing something useful and important. I was sitting there feeling an ache in my chest. What do you think? This thing?
I think it really is whatever the force is, if you call it the ego force, the I force, whatever it is that has come up to resist, there's a reason it's doing that. There's a a fear, or there's a sense that if I, our ego will find ways to cope with stuff. And so sometimes we just don't want to go there. We just don't want to. Part of ourselves feels like, oh man, if I go there, I'm not going to make it,
Yeah.
And so you just have to sit with that and just notice that the resistance, like just keep coming back. Like the resistance will, it's very well honed. It's what's been keeping us alive.
It's very well honed. Yeah. It will work very hard to get you to not do this thing.
Yeah, and it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's purposeful. So you can have compassion for yourself that, again, I'm not looking at this because there's a resistance there for a reason. There's a fear.
Yeah.
Some inner conflict that if I go there, it's pretty threatening. But
yeah.
it isn't like if you just sit there anyway and notice, then you start noticing, oh yeah, it's lightening up in there. My chest isn't hurting as much. My stomach's not hurting as much. Or you might notice, oh, I can breathe deeper. Or, wow, my shoulders came down. Like, oh, it is resolving. So you just have to be patient with yourself and love yourself through it.
And I think that's one of the reasons it's useful to have a guide, because I think it is the ego. I think there's part of you that doesn't want to do it because it's painful, and nobody wants to feel pain. If somebody broke up with you years ago, you don't want to feel that pain again. And why would you feel that pain? And how could that possibly be useful? Yet we might be affected by something that happened in the past. You lost a lot of money. Your sweetie left you. Somebody died. Something happened when you were a little kid. So all these things can be
and it's not as, it's really the body. We might be afraid that it's going to be super painful, but if you're really not going into the story deeply, it doesn't have to be super painful.
Yeah. Let me play another one because I just want to show people. This is somebody that I did that same process with that we're talking about, and so she saw me for one session, and then this was her story. Let me know if you see this. Let's see. Do you see her?
So it's been a few weeks since I did my session with Ralph, and what's interesting, I just kind of was like, oh, I'll just go about my day, see what happens, whatever. But what's interesting is that since I've done that session, there's been some really interesting opportunities that have come my way for various different things, just really out of the blue, clients calling us from out of the blue, bringing us clients. So that's just something that I've really noticed, is that a lot of very interesting opportunities, big opportunities, actually really big opportunities have come my way ever since I did the session with Ralph. So obviously this is still new, this is still in the beginning, but that's really something I noticed, and I thought it was quite interesting just to notice that. So that's just one other thing that I noticed. So if you have any interest in doing a session with Ralph, I highly recommend it. It's very subtle and you don't notice it, but then if you keep note of how your life is changing, you'll see that, well, at least for me, there's been some big things that have been happening.
And I'm gonna go. So when she first reached out to me, we worked on some stuff around business things. When she messaged me the first video, I can go find that if we want. What happened was her migraines, she'd had chronic migraines for her whole life. They went away. And then that was the second video. About a week later, she messaged me with that one. So it's, and yet we were doing this process that Leslie's talking about, that we're talking about, to go feel this inner conflict. So,
yeah. And, I've dealt with people, like you said, the deep traumatic stuff. I've helped people who are in real crisis, like, having been attacked, or really feeling like any second they're just going to end it all, and if I can help them just to stay with the sensations in the body, they can move through that stuff really quickly, come out the other end, and much more rapidly than if you weren't able to tune in and feel where it's stuck in the body. It's just amazingly effective.
Yeah, and I almost hesitate to show this next one, so I might not, but because there's another component that we use that's an energy. I'm going to show it. So there's this other thing that happens when you hang out with Leslie and me, and it's energetic. We were talking about this before we got on screen, like, you know, everybody in the self-help world, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying the same thing. And Leslie and I were even talking about, like, why should we talk more about this stuff? Everybody talks about this stuff. And the difference is our presence. And it's not an ego thing, really. It truly is. If you're around a certain, if you're around certain people, life is better. And if you're around other people, life isn't as much better. And you can see it in the extremes, you know, people that have been through traumatic stresses or have chronic injuries or always getting in accidents. There's people that surrounded them when they were young. There's people that are around them now or that are affecting them from the past that can still get in the way. And part of what we have with our Atomic Success Secrets group, and we do one-on-one clients, but what we're talking about now is a way to do this in a group where the people that are doing this deep inner work together, it's exponentially more powerful to be in that group. And I do want to show this other video because this guy reached out to me and years ago with a business problem. He felt there was a block in money things. And even though we're, you know, Leslie's a healer, I'm a healer, we help people with physical and Leslie, emotional and mental traumas. That's our thing. Yet sometimes people reach out to us because they have other stuff that they're working on as well. But in this case, this was a guy that reached out to me because he thought he had some sort of energetic block around money. And we did a different process where it was basically what I was just talking about, being in this presence, you know, it's God, spirit, whatever you want to call that, the matrix energetics world. And this is what his result was, what he was talking about. Let me go see if I can find this. I think it's in here. Where'd he go? Here it is.
Hello. I recorded this short video just to tell you thank you for what you've done. And you probably don't know, but during our conversation, while we were on the Zoom call, we were talking about my money blocks, if you remember. And I had this problem going on for years since, I can't remember for how long really, but I have this feeling that nothing is working out. Everything is kind of getting stuck and money doesn't flow and my energies doesn't flow. So I did get in touch with you and we had this conversation. And during our conversation, I felt my phone vibrating. It wasn't a call, it was something like notifications, but one after another. I didn't pay attention really because I was all into talking to you, but I felt it vibrating. So guess what it was? After our conversation, I had a look and those were all notifications about sales coming in. To my surprise, there was like, even after we finished conversation, I woke up next morning to the record number of sales like I ever had. Like, how cool is that? I don't even know what it's called, like what you've done, whatever it was, but I definitely want to talk again to you. I definitely want to know what you've done and I want to practice that myself so I can do whatever it was myself because it was amazing. It's just unbelievable. How can that happen? I don't know. You need to teach me that, man. I'm really looking forward to speak to you.
So we have a guy in our group that he did give us a success story, but he's somebody that he's noticed a big shift. His wife, who's not even on the call, but he says she loves us because her real estate business has done this since he's been on the call. So he's been on the call in our daily group, and his wife's business is improving. Now, like I said,
And then he talks about his physical symptoms, his physical endurance and flexibility is changing. Like he goes to sessions and then he's like, wow, I can do so much more yoga. It's always been tight and it's not tight anymore. Like it's many different.
Like, and when the idea is this inner conflict, this inner pain, we're using a lot of energy to not feel it. It hurts. What happened in our past, nobody should have to feel that. Little boys, little girls shouldn't have those kind of things happen. It's wrong. And we hold it down and we don't feel it. but it shows up in our life as tightness, as restrictions, as relationships, as business things, as all sorts of health conditions. When we clear it, and we do it with what Leslie and I are talking about, to go in and find it and then let it run itself out in a very specific way, not with the story, not with talking about it. It's not talking therapy. When it's no longer needing to be heard, when it's totally done, all that tension that's you're using to hold it down is no longer needed. And so people get looser, lighter, their knees feel better. Opportunities can come to them, like that one person said, that one guy's money just started happening. It's like, so yeah, so we're healers. We help people heal from physical stuff. And along the way, we see these kind of miracles. And that's why we keep doing our Atomic Success Secrets group, because, you know, we do one-on-one sessions, and that's our thing. That's what we do. And then we have this wonderful group of people that come in on a daily basis, some every day, some a few times a week, some here and there. And together, this energy and this way of going in and finding this stuff, it helps everybody. So anything else you want to say about that, Leslie? And then we'll set
I'm
everybody
so
free.
happy. I'm so happy that you started that group and asked me to lead it one day. It's just an incredible experience. It's just like, wow. I'll move away from the group. Like maybe I'll look at something and I'll come back like this. Is like, whoa, the energy of the group is just,
Yeah.
and it's very supportive. Everyone's supportive of each other. There's no, like, you don't have to feel embarrassed if something isn't going right. Even if you've been in the group for 3 years, something could happen that's challenging, and there's no feeling like, oh, I should be better than this. It's just, you are who you are, and everybody keeps going deeper because there's always more to do, right? Life always offers us more to deal with.
So there it is, you guys. So yeah, Leslie and I do this because we love to do it, and we love being in the group. And if this speaks to you, send us a message, leslieplatner.com, me, ralphhavens.com. I'm going to put the links everywhere you find this on YouTube and Spotify and Facebook, and share this message of healing and hope, because we've seen miracles with this. So I know I've kept us a little over time, and we both have to get on with our sessions. So Leslie, thank you. I'm so grateful for you. We just keep doing it because this is what we do. So I'm just glad you're here.
Yeah, good to talk. And let's just tune in here's something for everybody who's watching this. Whatever wants to come through to help release any blocks or inner tension. Everything that you want, that you know, and that you don't know.
Thank you, Leslie. And everybody, let us know what you noticed that's different after hanging out with us. If you've watched through the end of this video.
This long video.
This long video, yes. All right, Leslie, thank you. Thank you. And I will see you very soon. What is today? Wednesday. Okay. All right. Talk to you soon. All right. Thank you, Leslie. I'm going to find out where we are here. That was great. Yeah, that was really good. Okay. I will see you real soon. Good work.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.